Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Like and Spooky coming to you guys with my top picks for the 2016-27 college football playoffs, my top 4 and my first 2 out. So yeah, we're gonna get into that right now. Alright, and before I start putting these up, let me remind you that I am an Ohio State fan, so this should prove that I'm not biased. Alright, anyways, coming in at number 4, I'm going to be putting Oklahoma just because the fact that they have Baker Mayfield back along with a couple other guys, but just the way they got beat by Clemson last year, just that makes me a little doubtful of what they can do, but I still think that they're definitely going to be a top 4 team, and I look to see them in the playoffs. So yeah, Baker Mayfield coming back is pretty self-explanatory for Oklahoma. Alright, and yeah, coming in at number 3, I got Stanford, and they're number 7, I believe, on ESPN's rankings, and I just thought that was kind of an understatement because the one thing you guys need to know is McCaffrey. I personally sat there and watched that Iowa game happen in the Rose Bowl last year, and this guy is probably one of the most unbelievable players that I've ever seen. I would say that he even topped Ezekiel Elliott, so he's just probably one of the most explosive players that I've ever watched do that to a team. So yeah, I definitely look to see Stanford in the top 4, and yeah, McCaffrey, he's a one-man show. You guys gotta see his highlight tape if you haven't. If you watch his highlight tape, you'll understand. So yeah, Stanford number 3, that's my pick. Coming in at number 2, I'm gonna be putting Alabama. Even though they won the national championship last year, coming into this year they have another quarterback issue. They don't know really who it's gonna be. They have an idea, but it's just like it has been the past couple years for Alabama. They're just trying to find a quarterback right now, and they aren't 100% sure what's going on. But I think this year might be a similar year to when Ohio State beat them, where if they get up against a really good defense, that newer quarterback might struggle, but maybe not. But I definitely think Alabama's going to be in contention for it again, as they always are. So yeah, Alabama's going to be number 2. The only reason they're not number 1, in my opinion, is just because of the quarterback situation again with all the newer guys, or who's going to be that quarterback. And yeah, that's the only real question that I really have for Alabama. And for my number 1 pick, I'm going to be putting Clemson, and that's because obviously they have Deshaun Watson coming back, but that's not the whole reason why. I know they lost quite a bit on their defense last year, but I think that they are going to have a really good defense just because if I was looking at the roster, and they have a lot of good depth, a lot of high recruits, and that depth is what I think is going to really help them come out and, you know, be able to shut teams down better than they did last year. I mean, I'm pretty sure they did a good job shutting down Oklahoma last year, but I think that they're still going to do a better job this year, like I said, just because of that depth. So with Deshaun Watson on offense, the returning Heisman, and then that depth, I think it's going to make for a really great Clemson team, and I'm going to actually be pretty excited to watch them this year. Alright, and for my first 2 out, even though I'm going to be rooting for them to, you know, win the national championship and get into the playoffs, at number 5, I'm saying my Buckeyes are going to be the first team out. And that's especially because even though I think they have somebody like Curtis Samuel who can make plays as a running back, I just don't think they're going to be able to fill the spot of Braxton Miller and Ezekiel Elliott. So yeah, I think that's going to be our biggest problem. I don't think that we're going to exactly know what we're doing this year. I do look for us to, you know, maybe have a 1 or 2 loss season. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it to the playoffs or not. Like I said, Braxton Miller and Ezekiel Elliott, that's a lot to fill. Even though having JT Barrett back is going to be big. So yeah, that's why Buckeyes are number 5, first team out. Alright, and at number 6, similarly to Alabama, Florida State has a quarterback issue. They don't know who their quarterback's going to be. They have a lot of young guys. I'm not too sure if they have any guys that are seniors or anything that are quarterback worthy or have any play time, but yeah, they have somebody like Dalvin Cook who can definitely make plays, and that's why they're still going to be number 6 and definitely still have a shot to go to the top 4. So yeah, that was just a really brief top 4 and first 2 out. I could go a lot more in depth, but like I said, I just wanted to make this a quick little brief thing of who I think is going to be in. I could go way more in depth if you guys want, or if you guys want me to do more sports videos. Let's get 30 likes on this. So yeah, it's been spooky. I'm out. Peace.